Today we're looking at 3 global developments that could influence the economy, international relations, and even the weather in the months ahead. These aren't just headlines, they're signals of how quickly the world is shifting. Let's begin in Asia. A large-scale military parade brought together some of the world's most prominent powers. Columns of tanks, long-range vehicles, and modern aircraft passed through the capital's central square. Tens of thousands of people watched as the display unfolded. What stood out wasn't just the equipment on display, but the message. These nations wanted to show unity and resilience in front of the world. For international observers, the gathering raised questions about what closer cooperation between these countries might mean. If these governments coordinate more closely on trade, energy, or defense, the ripple effects could touch every continent. Energy markets could be reshaped if they agree on supply routes or pricing strategies. Global trade flows could be redirected as they strengthen ties with one another. Even in the financial world, investors are already debating whether this kind of alignment signals greater uncertainty in supply chains. The message was clear. Alliances are shifting, and countries are paying attention. While the parade itself was ceremonial, the symbolism carries weight. The images will likely be studied for months to come. Now let's move to North America. The U.S. government announced that its main military headquarters will now be referred to using its older historic title, the Department of War. For decades, it has been officially called the Department of Defense, a title chosen to emphasize the idea of protection and security. By reviving the older name in communications, the government is placing a new spotlight on the role of the military. The change does not yet carry the full force of law, as Congress would have to approve a permanent rebranding. But in practice, the new terminology is already appearing in official press releases, on digital platforms, and even in some signage. Supporters argue it is more direct, while critics warn it could alter global perceptions. Finally, let's turn to climate. The World Meteorological Organization has reported a strong likelihood, about 55%, that La Niña conditions will develop this fall. La Niña is a natural climate cycle that begins when waters in the Pacific Ocean cool significantly, altering wind and weather patterns. Its effects are well documented. Some regions experience heavier rainfall, flooding, and landslides, while others endure extended drought. In the Atlantic, La Niña has historically coincided with stronger and more frequent hurricanes, creating risks for coastal communities. The consequences don't stop at weather. Agricultural regions can see lower yields, driving food prices higher in global markets. Shipping lanes may be disrupted by storms, causing delays in supply chains. Energy demand rises as some areas struggle with extreme cold, while others battle extreme heat. Insurance costs climb as damage from storms and flooding increases. And for ordinary households, the result can be higher grocery bills, increased utility costs, and more pressure on monthly budgets. When we put these 3 stories together, a pattern emerges. In Asia, global powers are signaling closer cooperation. In North America, a symbolic rebranding is sparking debate about the role of language in shaping policy. Worldwide, natural climate cycles are preparing to test economies and supply chains. Each story stands on its own, but together they show how interconnected today's world has become. This content is for informational and educational purposes only. It does not represent financial, investment, legal, or professional advice. The analysis and commentary are based on publicly available information from reputable organizations. No endorsement of any government, institution, or policy is implied. Viewers should always consult qualified professionals before making financial or policy-related decisions. Follow and subscribe for clear explanations of the events shaping tomorrow's world.